The Awakening by Melanie Barrett. Humanity seems to be currently undergoing a shift in consciousness whereby the brain is evolving to a reality based in love, unity, away from fear, separation. For eons, the human brain has perceived and projected a reality based on a premise that consciousness, the perceiver, of experiencing begins and ends with the body, that what I essentially am is the body, so therefore I am only a mortal, limited, separate entity. This paradigm that what I am or my consciousness is solely contingent upon and limited to the experience of my body obviously projects the fear-based reality. If I am limited to this body, then if this body is attacked and if this body ends, then it's game over. If my loved one's bodies end, then maybe our love, our consciousness, our connection ends. These subconscious, ingrained beliefs underlie all of our drives. We create lives to protect ourselves from pain and loss. Our lives are driven by fear, even if we don't recognize it consciously. This belief in separation is the cause of all suffering. If I believe myself, my consciousness, my existence to be only the body, it is a precarious predicament. Subconsciously, the experience of my life is limited to the constraints that those mortals who came before me have imposed or sanctioned. They continue to be regurgitated in my projected experience. More and more human brains are experiencing a mental, physical, and emotional shift in perception, a perception that is unified, all-encompassing. The human brain that has undergone this shift, which some refer to as awakening, no longer sends their consciousness as only contained and limited to the body. Awakened brains still experience the appearance of separation, but it is contained within a greater context of unified, infinite love. The curious thing is that it's not an actual shift, but more of a recognition that separation is just an illusion. It just becomes consciously recognized or remembered that consciousness is in fact eternally unified. Bodies are born into the whole, and they are just an expression of the whole. They are never actually separate and autonomous, although they seem to be. This shift that is taking place in consciousness will enable the human form to live and create lives in love for the pure expression of joy, no longer living lives that are trying to avoid the pain of the inavailability of death. The human will no longer be constrained by the limiting framework of past and future. It will no longer be living a life that is viewed through a lens of lack and fear. The human being will sense itself as infinite, pristine, ever whole and complete light, creating for the exhilarating joy of creation itself, not to fulfill its lack, but to expand its consciousness in joy, eternally expanding, which paradoxically has always been the case. It just wasn't consciously realized. The human will remain consciously connected to its infinite source while it delights in creation, no longer fearing its end or its loved one's end, because it will be realized that it doesn't begin and end with the body. All that every and that every appearance is made of this light of consciousness, that all appearance is light at its essential level. It would be realized by all that there is never an end to the game. What joy to realize that what we really are never ends. Only the body ends, just that one particular garment. What we are is the unified love that connects all things eternally.